What was the craziest rumor at your school? There was this one teacher at my high school, Mrs. Hayes. She taught English, and everyone knew she had favorites. If you were on her good side, you could basically get away with anything. Late assignments, missing class, even sleeping through her lecture. She'd brush it off with a smile. But if you weren't, it was like she made it her mission to make your life a living hell. I found that out the hard way junior year. We had this huge research paper due, worth half our grade. I worked on mine for weeks, late nights at the library, endless hours formatting and proofreading. I even visited the local library to pull up old archives for research, digging through dusty newspapers and barely legible microfilm. When I finally turned it in, I was exhausted, but proud. I knew I'd done everything right. A week later, she handed them back. I flipped mine over and stared at the big red D scribbled across the top. My stomach dropped. I scanned the comments. Lack step. Unoriginal analysis. It didn't make sense. I'd spent hours crafting that paper. I asked if I could talk to her after class. She looked up over her glasses and said, "Sure, but it won't change your grade." I waited until the room cleared out. I handed her my paper, my voice shaking. "I don't understand. I followed all the guidelines." She barely looked up. "I grade based on quality, not effort," she said, shuffling her other papers. "But I saw Emma's paper," I blurted out. Emma was her favorite. She'd bragged about it all week, even posted it on Instagram. I read it. It was sloppy, full of typos and barely 2 pages long. Mrs. Hayes sighed, finally meeting my eyes. "Emma's paper demonstrated passion," she said slowly. "Yours was just ordinary." I felt my face burn. "Ordinary?" I whispered. "I did everything right," she shrugged. "Sometimes right isn't enough." I walked out of her classroom shaking, holding that red-marked paper like it was evidence. I told my friends, but they just shrugged. "It's Mrs. Hayes," they said. "She's been like that for years." I wasn't about to let it go. I stayed late after school, sneaking into the library archives. I pulled out old yearbooks, flipped through the teacher sections. There she was, Mrs. Hayes, all smiles and awards. But I noticed something. Each year, the student of the year in English was always someone she liked, always someone who'd been on her good side. It was like a list of her favorites, year after year. I dug deeper, found old students on Facebook. Some of them responded to my messages. A few laughed it off, but others, they told me stories about unfair grading, favoritism, the same things I was experiencing. One girl even told me she tried to report it once. "They shut me down so fast," she said. "I was told I was just bitter about my grade." I realized then it wasn't just me. I wasn't crazy. The system was just rigged and everyone knew it. Everyone just accepted it. The more I uncovered, the angrier I got. It wasn't just grades. Some kids claimed she would lose their assignments on purpose. Others said she'd mark them absent even when they were sitting right there in class. It was like she had a switch. And if she didn't like you, you might as well not exist. The next day, I walked into her classroom and handed her my revised paper. She looked at it, eyebrows raised. "I don't accept resubmissions," she said. I met her eyes and replied, "I know, but the principal might." Her face paled just a little. I didn't wait for a response. I just walked out. I didn't know if it would change anything, but for the first time, I felt like I had done something, like maybe the next kid wouldn't have to go through it. I never did find out if it mattered. Mrs. Hayes still taught English. Emma still got Student of the Year, but my final grade came back a week later. An A, no note, no comments, just the letter, marked in black ink. And I never got another D from her again.